talk about training and levers, we hear a lot of talk about the public education system is not strong enough to take some of the inner city schools or just take some children and help them see what the future is and help to prepare them for some of the things that you're talking about. Do you have an opinion on how we can increase, how we can look at our public education systems and really make sure that these students are prepared for some of the things you just shared with us?
I'm not an education expert, so I will observe that we don't seem to believe that the national security of our country comes from educating our citizens better than any other country in the world educates its citizens. Mm-hmm. If we believed that, we would act differently. And I do believe that there is no natural resource within the United States, no advantage that we have or could have, which is as valuable and as important to nurture as the minds of our citizens. Mm-hmm. Once we agree as a society that educating everybody and getting them more, not just book smart, but creative and open and mentally flexible and ready for the changes that are coming, once we make that true in our hearts, that we want that to be true in their minds, the rest will be easy. I just don't think we're committed to that as a country yet.
Thomas Edison always looked at the culture of risk-taking and experimentation, which often led to failure. I don't know that our country embraces failure in students and having them fail forward. Can you share a little bit about how you work with your team to make sure that they are failing forward, as well as that they're working on ideas that are large enough that could have an impact for the rest of the world?
Sure. Part of the trick is if you're part of X and I want you to spend your time most productively, mm-hmm. I want you to act without fear. That's what I really want. The word failure just conjures fear in your heart. So I need to find a way to cause you not to feel fear as you go through the work of trying to learn and make whatever it is you're working on better. Now, Edison's way of doing that was to say to himself and to everyone around him, I have never failed. I've just found 10,000 things that won't work.
Right.
That was his way of trying to reframe people's feeling about failure in this concept of just try one more time. Now, that doesn't happen to be the way we frame it here. I would say at X, we frame or reframe failure as learning. So I would say it this way to you if you were coming to work at X. Either your project has an Achilles heel or it doesn't. If it has an Achilles heel, we don't want to waste our time for 3 or 4 years spending huge amounts of money and then only find out at the end that you've been wasting your time and our money. We want to know about that now, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. So our job is to try as hard as we can all the time to find out whether your project has an Achilles heel, and if it does, to identify it. And to help you feel good about spending your time doing that, I'm promising you right now that we're going to work really hard to celebrate you when you find that failure, which, by the way, you're likely to most of the time. So look for the failure, find that Achilles heel, that reason why your project won't work. We'll celebrate you, we'll give you a bonus, take a long vacation, and when you come back, you can pick from all of the other projects here and find one to join that doesn't, at least so far, have an Achilles heel. All of a sudden, I've taken you and signed you up as a soldier to fail, to find as fast as you can the reason why your project won't work. And the truth is, since most projects do have an Achilles heel, all I've done is tricked you into not wasting 3 years of your life, which ultimately is in my best interest, but it's in your best interest too.